Now, you know a lot about the investor world, and you work more specifically with investors who are disposing of properties, with real estate investors, national real estate investors who are actually selling properties that they own in the metro Atlanta market. And I just have a question for you about real estate investing in general. If I were a consumer, an uneducated or an unaware consumer, I would assume there's no investment, there's no properties out there today that I could buy that I could turn into good investment properties and make money. Would that be true, or would I be mistaken?
I'd say there's not a lot, but there are some.
Yeah.
I also deal with investors whenever I get investment houses to sell. I have investors that I reach out to that think it might, if I think it's going to be a good buy scenario for them.
Yeah.
Something they could, there's a little bit of meat on the bone for them to, get in there and do whatever rehab and, rent it or sell it.
So the answer is, for somebody who's willing to get out and be aggressive, and look, there are still deals out there. You're probably not going to sit there and just let it fall in your lap. Would that be safe to say?
Yeah, I would say that. And it's amazing how many calls I get for people want to know if we have off-market properties, and they're even recorded calls where a recording gets you on the phone, and then they ask you if you have properties to sell. And so there's a lot of people out there that are scrounging around looking for good deals.
Yeah. In addition to selling investment properties, or in many cases, the properties you sell probably aren't investment properties when they get bought, because somebody probably buys it and lives in it, would be my guess. But in addition to selling properties for institutional investors, you are also a real estate investor yourself, if I remember correctly. Is that true?
I am. Yes, I am.
And how have you found your experience as a real estate investor? And I'm saying on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being it's perfect, never a problem, no worries, no nothing, 1 being, oh my gosh, I wish I'd never seen my first investment house. Where are you in terms of your kind of rating of being a landlord?
I'd say I'm about a 7. I initially had 7 properties, and now I'm down to 4.
Okay.
And so, my tenants, I've had long-term tenants, which is nice, but I've learned a lot.
I bet you have. What would you say would be the negative that makes it a 7 instead of a 10? And is that just dealing with the tenants and handling the problems that come up? And that's just kind of the nature of the beast, but I would assume you were managing them yourself, right? So
Yes,
you were taking care of that.
The biggest problem with people not taking care of your property like they should.
Yeah.
Or not paying on time, like they should. I had an experience, I don't know, 5 years ago that it was a sad story. Tried to work with them, and they just lived in filth. And by the time I got the property back, it was rat infested.
I know that occasionally you sell homes that are significantly damaged. In fact, I saw one not too long ago that was burned really, really badly. How does that work when you're selling like a property that's been burned or totally damaged?
Interestingly enough, the investors go crazy over our burned houses and our flooded houses, because most of what I'm selling are previous rentals.
Yeah.
Where they sometimes tenants will be mad
Yeah.
and they'll turn the water on upstairs.
Oh, no.
And flood the house whenever they lock the door and leave, and nobody knows about it for a couple of days or weeks or whatever.
I didn't even think about that. How disgusting